2, 1.
Attention hobbyists, sports fans, and collectors nationwide and abroad. It's time to get hype. Come on. About the hobby we are all a part of. Live from the Mojo Break Studios, it's Dan and Doug. Check it out. Come on. So, get hyped. Be hyped. This is The Hype.
What is going down, everyone? It's time for another episode of The Hype. We're back, episode number 32, paying homage to the great Shaquille O'Neal. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. The Super Bowl hangover. We're going to talk about 2018 Bowman, its prices, Ohtani, analyze that, and give you our takes on the whole situation with Bowman coming out. And talk a little product reviews and ask you guys a little Q&A so you guys can participate in the show as well. I'm Doug from MojoBreak.com. We've got Dan and C-Rad. Dan, what was your favorite commercial from Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, easy. Easy. It's the Odell Beckham, Eli Manning, no doubt. That one or the M&M's Danny DeVito.
That was pretty good.
The Danny DeVito one is phenomenal. But those are my two.
That was like the very first one I played, too.
Yeah.
The Danny DeVito one.
It was. I was wondering where they were going with that, but that was good. What was yours, C-Rad?
Oh, I'd say same thing as Dan. Odell and Eli. Nothing like seeing, like we see Peyton's personality that, so it's kind of nice to see Eli's a little bit come out.
Do you think it was more funny because, Eli's kind of, on the dumber side of the Mannings? Do you think that's why it was, more funny?
I thought it's just hilarious anytime you see somebody who's not naturally good at dancing trying to pull off something like that. And
yeah.
It's a classic, obviously it's a classic scene that they were trying to recreate, so it made it even funnier that it was just Eli. Odell Beckham, he fit that, he fits that perfect, that role, because that's how he is anyways, on the field. And
he's a cool customer.
Yeah, but Eli, that was special seeing him do those, bust those moves down.
Let me ask you guys this. Would it have been as good if it was Peyton Manning?
Yes.
And Marvin Harrison?
Yes, because then the roles will be opposite. It'll be Marvin Harrison looking awkward and Peyton looking in his element.
Make sure he didn't bring that gun to the shoot, car wash days. But I like the Peter Dinklage Busta Rhymes and the Morgan Freeman Missy Elliott. I thought that was pretty creative by Doritos.
Yeah, that was really good too.
Peter Dinklage, man, that was I wonder how many takes. Because Busta Rhymes is a machine gun style rapper, and that was a machine gun style song. So he looked pretty good. He looked like he was well practiced in that. So kudos to that one. That was probably my favorite, just because I remember those songs back to my teenage years, and those crazy Busta Rhymes videos from MTV where they were always wild. There was always the new one coming out was always better than the last one, and it was always more craziness that Busta Rhymes used to do. So I like that one the best. But
that's a good pick. That's not an easy song to perform, like you said.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Plates and Patches football coming out Friday. Teams are on sale for that. We also have randoms at $39.99 for a whole case of that. That's one of our favorite products. We've got we got breaks throughout the day. We got Vertex. We've got Elite is sold out. Actually, most of the breaks today are sold out. So if you're on the fence, I would definitely grab spots. And if you're just tuning into the podcast, we do breaks live on YouTube and Ustream. We do all sports. We do all types of breaks. We also do personal boxes now every Tuesday and Thursday. So be sure to check out mojobreak.com for that. Super Bowl. Let's you guys can go ahead and if you want to line up. And C-Rad was on my team. So Dan, if you want to go ahead and just pat me on the back for my prediction. That the great Nick Foles was going to be MVP and that the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl. You guys can watch I predicted it last week, so go ahead and I know I was right. So
when you go through and you do nothing but underdog predictions all year, you're bound to get one right. And with this one, you had about a 50-50. So if you would have told me that in week 2, Eagles would have won the Super Bowl and Nick Foles would have been the Super Bowl MVP, I'd been like, damn, you're the smartest dude alive. But that's not what you did. You said Nick Foles is going to be the MVP, which if the Eagles won, Nick Foles was going to be the MVP. Just like if the Patriots won, Tom Brady was going to be the MVP. So you didn't really go out on a limb. Now, I don't...
They could have gave it to Brandon Graham,
That
too.
That up there on the screen. Again, I know we're doing a podcast as well, but we have a picture of Nick Foles celebrating. That doesn't look like Phillip Rivers, and that doesn't look like your Los Angeles Chargers.
Did I say that?
Oh, it's like week 8. You were just like, let me tell you, this team is on fire.
I think I was talking about the '94 season, about them making the Super Bowl.
They got the whole package.
They do. But hey, I made the prediction last week, so I got to take it when I can get it, and I was very excited. I think everybody except for Patriot fans were obviously excited. It was like NFL reunited after the Eagles won because nobody wanted the Patriots to win besides Patriot fans. Even us being from the Bay Area, we were all like, I think we want the Eagles to win.
I just wanted to see a good game, and I think everybody can admit that was an exciting game to watch. Everybody loves offense.
No punts, baby. No punts.
No punts. It was just, you can't really ask for much more in a Super Bowl. It had a little bit of everything. It had Nick Foles catching a touchdown, Tom Brady almost catching the ball.
Yeah.
He's great. He's great. Probably the best ever. But stone hands on that play, man. That guy. Nobody ever said Tom Brady was athletic.
No, and it's probably hard to be athletic when you're 40. Let's face it.
And let's face it, that is probably not something that they practice on a regular basis. They're not like, oh, it's going to be the go route to Brady. Like
right.
every week we're going to practice that one.
But that was just that's like unlike Belichick to make that cutesy type of play at that point in the game. It was a weird play call, I thought. And just to divulge into what I seen with the Super Bowl, I thought it was interesting that we've had a slow NFL season. The ratings were down. They were saying the demographic of males watching football this year were at an all-time low. You had guys. Aaron Rodgers was out half the season. ODB went out. A lot of the faces. Peyton Manning retired. So NFL was in a struggle mode, and it was just interesting that this game was like the perfect game for the NFL on center stage with the highest paid advertising. That it performed the way that it did.
I think the ratings were the lowest Super Bowl rating since 2007.
Really?
I think so.
I wonder how they calculate that, though, because people are streaming the game. There's 20 people at your house, so that's 20 potential TVs that are not on. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they calculate?
You have 20 TVs at your house?
No, I'm saying if you had 20 people over, that means there's only maybe you had 2 TVs going on in your house, but that's potentially 10 people to a TV, so there's less TVs on. So how do they get that rating? It's like in the modern age with so many ways to digest media. How do they get those Nielsen ratings now? I think they have some people fill out stuff if I don't, from what I've heard. But how do you actually get that rating and it be accurate? That's what I want to know. Is that somebody in the TV industry?
Maybe
in the
it's
chat?
telemarketers calling you during the Super Bowl. And you're like, hello? They're all, is this Doug? You watching the Super Bowl? Yep. They're all mark you down for one.
It's just like a census going door to door. Knocking on Super Bowl Sunday.
No, it's all the they have the DoorDash people who are delivering all the food to everybody. They were actually marking down everybody who was watching the game.
They were getting a little kickback on the DoorDash.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's maybe.
I also thought it was kind of funny that if you watch an NFL game through the season, and we've had many head injuries this year, Shazier, Goodwin with the Niners, how fast they got Brandon Cooks off of that field between an advertisement was insane. Like, it literally, they showed him on the field, and they're like, cut to commercial, and then they go back, and they're already hiking the ball, and I'm like, Jesus, that was like 2 minutes. They got him off the field, and he looked like he was half dead. So that was like, I wonder if that was just the powers to be at the NFL going like, we cannot have another concussion discussion during the Super Bowl. Like, let's end the CTE argument.
Yeah, that's probably was it for sure.
With that many viewers, nobody wants to see a guy lay lifeless on the turf. Like, that's bad for ratings.
Right.
So yeah, it was. But they did get him. They got him off quick. He definitely, I can tell you right now, there was 100% chance he was not going to go back in there.
Right.
There was no way.
Even if he
would have passed the protocol, I don't think the NFL would have allowed Brandon Cooks to go out there and play another snap.
Yeah, because what if he got hurt again, and they'd be like, everybody would be talking about that on Monday.
So that, like, as soon as he, like, I think that was the case with any on that type of stage. Anybody goes down with a possible concussion, they probably do not come back in the game.
Right.
Which back in the 80s, you got my bell rung a little bit. I'm back out there.
Ronnie Lott cut off one of his fingers to go out there and play because it got caught in somebody's helmet, and he's like, they're like, you can't play with it like that. And he's like, just cut it off. I'll go out there and play. Like that, you never even come close to that these days. Chad brings up a good point while we're on the Super Bowl topic. $250,000.
Was that auction paid?
That's what I want to know.
Does anybody know?
Can we confirm that was paid? Because that just seems insane. How many houses and how many states can you buy houses for $250,000? I mean,
what's that? Probstein sold that, right?
Yep.
What's that invoice? What's that eBay invoice looking like?
I wonder if he pays you first on that one.
Probably not.
If you haven't dealt with Probstein, he pays you before he gets paid, similar to what we do on our auction. So I'm like, I wonder if that one got paid. And just to clarify, there was a 2000 Contenders Hollow, numbered to 100, BGS 910, that sold for $250,000 before the game. That is ridiculous.
Number to 100. But I have a feeling what I was reading on it is a lot of those cards didn't grade well specifically. So I think a 9 is extremely high.
Yep.
And super rare.
Yep. And Chad, yeah, he made it on ESPN. They actually said that Probstein did $29 million in sales last calendar year. So it's, I know the margins are really slim there, but that's a lot of money in cards. I know he does a little bit of memorabilia, but that's pretty crazy. Kudos to Probstein to pretty much have no overhead, right? I mean, besides employees and shipping costs, to just take people's cards and sell them successfully.
We do that in a small fraction, and it is super time consuming. So I can imagine doing it in his type of volume. It's probably a lot bigger operation than we think.
Yeah.
He may have 10 to 15 people listing cards, shipping them out at any given time. So, but it's a hustle for sure.
Definitely.
It's definitely got to put in some work for that.
And I know a lot of people on the forums, real quickly on Probstein, think that his auctions are shilled. Yes, they probably are, but they're not being shilled by Probstein. They're being shilled by probably the person that sends in the cards. And he has a huge mailing list too, so there's a lot of eyeballs on his cards. So if you're looking to get a good deal on cards, a lot of times Probstein's auctions aren't, but sometimes you can. But it depends on the moment. Like a Brady right before the Super Bowl, Probstein probably going to go for the highest amount. Or PWCC or any of those guys that sell cards, because they have the biggest mailing list, they have the biggest clientele base that follow them, and that's what happens. So, but on the flip side, if you're looking to sell a card like that, that's a good person to send it to. And we've sent cards to him before as well, and it was a good turnaround for service wise. So, but yeah, I wanted to get into the argument, and I know what everybody's going to say here, but you can see some contenders went up for Foles. His contenders auto went for, I think last week when we were talking about it, was going for about $100. It after the Super Bowl doubled, went to $200. So a little bit of hype surrounding Foles, Super Bowl MVP. If you go to Wentz on the next screen, about 332 for obviously a worse grade, but so he's probably hovering about a $500 ticket compared to a $200 Foles ticket. Where does Foles land? Does Foles? They don't obviously get rid of Wentz. I know that sounds stupid, but where does Foles go next year?
Well, there's maybe 4 or 5 teams that he can go.
Yeah.
Jets. Maybe Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't think he goes to Cleveland. I think if Cleveland goes big, I think they may go after Kirk Cousins. But if they don't get Cousins, I think they're going to get either Darnold or Rosen in the draft, and they'll start. Arizona's a possibility.
Arizona would be a good fit, but they're talking about Cousins over there, right?
Well, so there's going to be 3 or 4 teams in the running for Cousins. Whoever doesn't get Cousins is going to be in the Nick Foles sweepstakes, and then whoever doesn't get Nick Foles is probably going to be in the Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, if he is going to be a free agent, because I know the Vikings are trying to say that since he's been on the PUP list 2 years that he hasn't fulfilled his rookie contract, so he still has 1 year left on his contract. So he may not be a free agent, but if he is, he'll be one of the top free agents. Can you remember a offseason where there was so many quarterbacks that are going to be free agent signees that are going to be the starter for their team, like out of the gate? Nick Foles, wherever he signs, he's probably going to be the starter.
Well,
Case Keenum, wherever he signs, he's probably going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kirk Cousins, whoever he signs, he's going to be a starter. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater, wherever he signs, he's going to be a starter.
well, here's the thing, though. I think he's under contract. He's under contract with Philly.
But if they can get a second round pick for him, you got to take it. Is Nick Foles, is he ever going to be the future in Philadelphia?
I don't know. I mean, I know this is the unpopular opinion because everybody loves Carson Wentz, but I mean, this guy is proven in the playoffs. Wentz hasn't played a playoff game. I know he got hurt. He would have played a playoff game. Wentz could have lost in the first round. Foles didn't. So there's some value in a fact that a quarterback can play in a high-pressure situation, which is what all your team, when you're a fan of a team, you want a guy that can win in the big games, right? I know they had a great team. I know they had a lot of weapons, but it does take a quarterback to win the game. If they had Geno Smith out there, they don't win the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know. It's a bold statement.
I would even go as far as saying if they had Blake Bortles back there, they wouldn't win the Super Bowl. Nick Foles is an elite quarterback, in my opinion. I know he had. If you look at his stats, a lot of people remember those Ram years, and you got to also keep in mind he played for Chip Kelly, which was an absolute abomination of an offense when he was running out there. I know very well as a Niner fan that Chip Kelly scheme does not work in the NFL.
That was his best year.
Exactly.
His best year
in a very challenging offense.
But his best year was that's why it was uncertain what he can do in a pro style offense, because he was successful in the Chip Kelly offense.
Right.
So he went to Kansas City. He obviously was there as a backup. He was never going to start. Goes back to Philly, gets a chance. I think Nick Foles is a serviceable starting quarterback. I don't put him in a top 10. I think he might be maybe a top 15. He's like middle of the road. He's right. Actually, he fits right in there, kind of with the Blake Bortles and the Andy Daltons of the league.
But he's won a Super Bowl and he's an MVP. And he has the highest quarterback rating out of any quarterback in playoff history. I know it's only 4 games, but you guys are mentioning
he won.
You guys are mentioning Trent Dilfer, and I don't have the stats to back it up, but I guarantee you they're not top 10 in playoff quarterback rating of all time. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, those guys.
Okay, fine. Okay, check this out. So you're saying that Nick Foles is a top 10 quarterback in the league?
Top 10, yeah.
Okay, because I just said top 15, and then you're trying to make an argument. You said it was top 10. Okay, where's your boy Jimmy Garoppolo?
Whew, that's hard for me to predict as a homer, but I would. He's still got to prove himself. He hasn't won a playoff game, so he's high.
So you rather have Nick Foles be the quarterback for your 49ers than Jimmy Garoppolo?
Based on face, no.
Oh,
face of the
okay,
franchise,
okay.
but based on skill level and talent and winning in the playoffs, maybe. I wouldn't be mad.
So
if Garoppolo never signed with the Niners and we had a chance to get Foles this year, like say we ran out Hoyer last year.
So you would be stoked if they basically trade one of their picks, or one of the Niners have a shit ton of picks, so the Niners trade a pick to the Eagles for Nick Foles, and they don't sign Jimmy Garoppolo.
The Jimmy Garoppolo, we didn't have.
So you would be like, yes.
No, because Jimmy Garoppolo has not lost a game for us. So
Oh.
it's a little bit different of a scenario. He hasn't had a chance to play in the playoffs for us yet. So there's hype there, and that's what we're all based on. This whole industry is based on hype. Is what the show's based on. But the fact, if we had Hoyer last year coming off of Kaepernick, and we had Hoyer all season, and we trotted out Beathard, and we won 1 game, and there was a chance to sign a Super Bowl MVP for my quarterback, yes, I would be happy with that.
But now you're willing to take a quarterback that you don't think is as good. You rather run with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I didn't say he wasn't as good. I said he's not as proven.
Oh,
Now you're putting words in my
but
mouth.
that's what you want, though. You want a proven quarterback.
You do, but
You just said in order to win in this league, you need a proven quarterback.
he proved himself. He won in the Super Bowl. He's
So
MVP.
that should be your guy. That should be the guy you want.
I wouldn't be mad.
Okay, so let's make that happen. You talk to
Yeah.
talk to York and see if you can make a little wheeling and dealing.
Let's do it. No. Jimmy Garoppolo's won 6 in a row. He hasn't lost a game in his career. So it's a whole different scenario as if we didn't have a Jimmy Garoppolo and we were thinking about signing Nick Foles. You can't compare it that way. We barely have any more fans, Mango.
It was a hell of a comparison. Is what it was.
What about Nick Foles and Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Ooh, okay.
Jared Goff, first overall pick, franchise quarterback,
So you're saying if Nick Foles was out there with McVay,
spokesperson for Honda? I mean, I'm into it. Jared Goff had a good year.
he did, but he had a really bad year the year before.
He was Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher was his. He was his.
Oh, it's all Jeff Fisher's
It's
fault.
Jeff Fisher's fault. It was Jeff Fisher's fault.
Well, I'm running with my guy Foles because I looked at the numbers and the guy has the numbers. I just don't know why people hate him. Why is Nick Foles hated? Why is he not given any respect? Why does he have zero respect? What has he done to not have any respect? Does he punch some babies? Did he kick some dogs? I mean, this guy gets no love. I mean, there's not even an argument that Wentz in him. It's just everybody's Wentz. Everybody's Wentz.
Hey, I could make. I saw him play as a Ram. He was terrible. He was terrible. He lost his job to Case Keenum.
He had an 80 quarterback rating on a bad team. That's higher than Marcus Mariota.
He was terrible.
Marcus Mariota's rating is 69, and he got to the playoffs.
I think the Rams won 4 games.
He's got a good quarterback rating. He's been on some bad teams. He had a chance on a good team, and he won. That's it. That's you know, and that's good banter. I'm just saying, like, nobody even in the media is even ruling out the fact that, hey, what if Wentz comes? What if they get rid of Foles and Wentz and they win 6 games last year, and then Wentz gets traded and then it's gone?
How are they shipping that Carson Wentz card? Why is it $18?
Oh, geez. Oh, it's from Japan.
Oh, okay.
That's why. I cut that part out of the auction.
Oh, jeez. Well, then, yeah. So that card could have went more if it was domestically, I think. Domestic.
All right, let's get into some 2018 Bowman talk because Topps came out yesterday and tweeted out these photos and confirmed that Shohei Ohtani will be in 2018 Bowman. And
That's
a
a
hobby.
cool autograph. Second one.
Yeah, I don't know what rate those are going to fall in, but if you're listening on the podcast, he's signed some autos in what do you call that? That's in Japan.
Japanese.
God, I sound really
writing.
stupid right now. In Japan writing, signed some that Jesus. Durr.
I don't know the word. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Somebody probably in the chat does, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, he has 2 different variations of autos, but it's crazy. You want to talk about the epitome of hype, and we've used that word several times already. This is insane what these boxes have gone up to for Bowman. We're talking about this product releases April 25th, so that's 2.5 weeks before this product even comes out. And you go on the major online retailer that's considers themselves blowing it out. Well, they're doing the opposite of blowing out this product because it's expensive already. And this is, I guess, surely based. I know there's some other good prospects. There's Hunter Green in there, possible 2-way player for the Reds. But these boxes are literally. I had it up. I'm pulling it up now. These boxes are 134 for hobby. And $274 for jumbo.
Did it go up $10 since we got here today?
I think it did.
It was $125 this morning. Now it's $135. This is ridiculous. And the games that are played in this industry from so many different avenues.
Kanji, there you go.
So we're selling this. We're getting it. We're gonna sell it. We're gonna do group breaks with it. When products go up like this, we're going to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars less because there's only so much we can charge for teams like, Orioles and Giants and
teams that don't
Royals.
have, yeah.
And I mean, some of those teams probably have prospects, but you know what I mean? There's a ceiling on those teams. We can only sell them for $19 and stuff like that. Of course, unfortunately, we have to sell the Angels now at a stupid price. Just to even get close to the ballpark where we need to get to. But we're probably going to be making $800 to $900 less than what if we just sold the case.
If we just sold it.
If we just sold the case and didn't even break it, but we're actually going to make about $900 less than what the online retailers are selling it for. And we have to pay people to sort it, pack it, ship it. So it doesn't benefit us at all. If anything, it makes it so we have to work even harder to try to get what we feel our allocation should be from these distributors that we deal with. And it's just a major, major headache. And those boxes, the jumbo boxes they're worth $180.
Yeah, that's what they go for every year.
That's what they're worth.
Which is, to be honest with you guys, to be completely transparent here, that's most people making $70 a box on that. So now they're going to be making $120, $140 a box. I mean, everybody buys in at a different level. I don't know. Maybe they actually pay more for them. I don't know, because I don't know how their schematics of their business work. I know that the schematics of our business works, but it's just like, I just don't know who dictates this. It's literally just, and I don't hate blowout, but they definitely have a stranglehold on the market. They create the market. They decide what this is going to be, and even if they don't sell it, they don't care, because they know they can go lower and still make good money off of it. And I mean, on the flip side of it is it's good to have things that are collectible, and obviously there's demand for it, but there's a crossing of the line of greed and collectability there, and it does hurt the end consumer, because these things are going to be more expensive, which is going to make harder for flippers and things like that, the people that normally do these kind of things and chase. They're going to be priced out from even thinking about taking the opportunity to buy cases, because at $2,700 you need to hit a superfractor in your jumbo case or bust, pretty much.
So this is basically benefiting only the people who are getting massive amounts of this product. They can kind of dictate the price because they're holding all of it. So distributors are going to basically send out a fraction of what all these retailers ordered.
Yeah.
They're gonna basically allocate. They're gonna give you about half of what you wanted. So let's say and it's based on your previous years, but they try to make up a bunch of stuff, and it's kind of made up on the fly, whatever benefits them the most. But they're gonna hold it back. They're gonna hold some of it back. And I understand that business model. You hold it back. Why sell it for $110 when I can sell it to you for $280 3 days after it releases?
Right.
You only need one person to basically buy it to justify doing it that way.
Right.
And if somebody else, an online retailer, has a majority of it and they're going to hold firm on their price, well, then you're not going to have to adjust your price. It's basically... they're basically making it so the product's never going to go down.
Right. Yeah.
They like set this market price, and it's never really going to fluctuate. It may fluctuate like $10, $20 here and there when they want to move some of it.
Shawnee asked the question, how could this be changed? How could we collectors affect the distributors? Don't buy it. Yes. I mean, the only way with anything in this world is if you close your wallet, that's the only way it's going to really affect them. I mean,
honestly, if we don't buy it and we don't sell it, there's going to be a million other group breakers that will go ahead and buy it and sell it, and it's not going to even make any difference. The only difference it's going to make is that we're not going to be able to make any money on it.
Right.
Because there's not going to be any... If we don't take our allocation, there's not going to be any shortage of other group breakers or online retailers that are going to take our allocation and probably pay even more for it.
I mean, Shawnee, and the only thing the other thing I was thinking of, and I'll go into the schematics of some of the distributors and how it works here in a second as well, but not buying it, I mean, is it the only way to deal with it? If you could get some rogue people that were willing to sell it for less and to create a more vacuum and get it closer to what it's been in the prior year, but it would take an enormous amount of people to go against blowout, go against DA, and you would be looked at around the hobby as the business side of the hobby as a dumbass for leaving money on the table. But if you could get enough people to sell it for a reasonable markup, but then everybody, you don't know how, maybe this guy paid $100 more a case. Maybe this guy, it's tough. It's tough to say. But what I was going to say is that we pre-ordered Bowman, right? We have to turn in our numbers for Topps usually about 4 to 5 months in advance. So, and Bowman's always a pretty for sure winner. You know it's going to be a good product. It comes out in April. It usually has at least a number one prospect. We were going to bank on Hunter Green. It probably would have been great just with Green, but then all of a sudden Ohtani comes out and there's the hype that he's going to be in there. So that obviously raised it up a little bit. And then once they announced that Ohtani was in it, it skyrocketed. So so distributors, they could be getting thousands of cases. They say it's allocated, but then they all of a sudden always have it afterwards. But for their sake, they're like, we can make $700 more a case by not giving it to our loyal customers. So the loyalty is the problem that we have. We've been supporting distributors for 8 years. We've been supporting one distributor for 8 years consistently, and we got cut, and we didn't ask for astronomical amount. We didn't ask for 100 cases. We asked for a fraction of that. We just wanted what we got. We still got cut. So it's greed. But what we're going to try to show, what we're trying to say to them is that, hey, you need people like us to buy the status basketballs. I mean, status isn't bad, but I'm saying like the replay basketballs, the crap that you're not going to sell. So wouldn't that be more valuable to you than just making money on one product? And that's the problem that we have, and that's the problem that morally we deal with on a daily basis with non-transparency from distributors and manufacturers.
Well, I think another point of it that so last year was ridiculous for baseball. 2017 baseball with Judge and Bellinger, it got a lot of people excited. A lot of people saw some dollar signs. People in the hobby who were collectors may have started thinking, hey, I can get a resale license. I can basically buy all this stuff at wholesale price, and I'll just sell it. I'll just basically be a prospector of sealed wax, which is something that's been going on for probably 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's not a new practice. But when all of them are doubling in price, you look at it and you're like, this is what I'm going to do. So, I mean, I know for a fact that there was hundreds every week going to distributors and trying to open up new accounts last year.
Yep.
Distributors were telling them, you can't get any 2017 product. Zero. You're not getting any of it.
Zero.
So, but they still were able to buy, 16 stock or maybe 16, 17 basketball. They were able to get, get some product, but 17 baseball you weren't going to be able to do pre-orders, nothing. I think what they ended up probably, dangling a carrot saying, hey, put your orders in for 2018. We're starting a new year. Get that Top Series 1 pre-order in. Get your stuff there, and then maybe you'll get some allocation for 2018 Bowman. Well, everybody probably got 4 boxes here, 2 boxes there, 1 case here. Influx of all these new accounts. Well, what that does is that the bigger accounts that have been, supporting every release for the last 10 years.
Yep.
The product, those 4 boxes, that 1 case, that's coming from the bigger accounts that have been supporting them for a long time.
Right. Yeah, and that's probably not the right way to do business. You want to take people that are going to be there for you long term. It's a reciprocation type thing. But Donovan has a question. What if Topps sold online? Would that affect?
Like what Panini did with First Off the Line? Panini did that with First Off the Line. Look, they went in there and set a price for Prism basketball. It sold out right away. But did that affect the secondary market price, the market value price for sealed wax of Bowman basketball? No, because it sold out so quick. It was the same thing with 16-17 Immaculate basketball.
Yeah.
They did the same thing. They were selling it for $450, I think, a box on Panini's site. Sold out right away. Blowout was selling it for $650, I think.
Mm-hmm.
After it sold out, did Blowout go down to $450 a box? No, they kept it at $650.
Right.
So selling it direct has shown that does not stabilize the market price at all. All it does is just puts more product into the market, and it sells out.
Right. Well, and I think that Topps, at the end of the day, we've had this conversation before, Topps is highly successful. They sell through most of their products. They don't have to play games with Black Friday packs and things like that. They sell through pretty much 90% of their products every year. They don't have to combo it up, allocate it up. So, but their business model is just to sell to 5 people. So they sell the entire inventory to 5 people. So they don't want to deal with the public. They'd have to hire more people, sell a box at a time. They do some of that online now, but they probably don't want to deal with the hobby if it's successful the way that it is. Now, the moment it maybe gets unsuccessful, kind of like what Panini's dealing with, that's why they launched the first off the line, they may consider selling more hobby boxes online. We've seen them selling Transcendent online. We've seen them selling some of their other products online when the product doesn't sell through the distributors. If the distributors don't take all the inventory that Topps made, then Topps is going to sell it online. But if they get Bowman, every year it's going to sell out through distributors or Blowout or DA, whoever their direct account. They don't have to sell it. They put it out there, it's sold, and it's done. So yeah, so that's basically why they don't sell these hot products online, because it takes no work to sell to 5 people, make money easily. So
yeah. Do you want to, if you're selling for Topps online, do you want to sell to 5 accounts, or do you want to sell one box to 10,000 people?
Right, exactly.
Like, do you want to do 10,000 shipments, or do you want to do 5 shipments?
Right, especially on ones that are in demand.
Do you want to basically invoice 5 accounts, or do you want to have credit card processing for 10,000 orders?
Right.
Like, what do you want to do?
Exactly. And to answer Ziggy's question, how does this impact my mega box Ohtanis? So those guys that got the retail Ohtani that got the Japan logo out of the Bowman Mega Box, I think they call them the Mosaics. I don't think it'll be affected, and I'll tell you why. Because there's only going to be autos of Ohtani in Bowman 1. There's not going to be rookie cards. They usually reserve the rookie cards for Bowman Chrome. And even if there was, even if they somehow do put rookie cards in Bowman, the Japan one could still be viewed as his first Bowman. And I think that'll still hold its value. It may be affected a little bit. Maybe people won't search those mega boxes at all. You probably don't want to run auctions after, Ohtani autos hit the market. You'd probably just want to run a buy it now on it. But I don't think it affects it too much. Plus, you have international collectors that are probably going to want the Japan version as well. So I think that one holds pretty strong, to be honest. I mean, it all is depending on, and this is a good segue into the talent and what could really happen with Ohtani here. Is who knows? I mean, this guy's coming from Japan. It's not Major League Baseball. There's been a lot of guys that have been subpar coming from Japan. I mean, Darvish is serviceable, but not a superstar. Daisuke failed. I mean, really, all you have is superstar status is Ichiro. So there's been more guys that have failed, and there's been guys that have succeeded, just like regular prospects. So what happens if this guy just completely sucks? I mean, we don't know. We don't know how he's going to be against major league talent.
I'll tell you right now, it can be the first week of Bowman's release and the stupid prices that Ohtanis are going to go for, base autos, ungraded, is going to be ridiculous. They're probably going to be close to $1,000.
I was just going to ask you, what do you think a base auto winds up at?
They're probably going to be, I would say, close to $1,000. So the first week, there's probably going to be people swooping up and just doing buy it nows at $1,000 for Ohtani autos, base autos, right?
Yeah.
In August, if he's been up and down in the majors and minors, and he's hitting about 200, and he's not doing it much in pitching, that could be a $50 card.
Yeah.
And I am not shitting you. That could be the case. That's how in a couple months you can turn a $1,000 bill into a $50 bill.
It's very high risk. I mean, but on the flip side, if he is Strasburg or if he is Trout, hitting, it could be a $4,000 card. So there's those people are holding on to that reason.
No, I mean, I get that. And it would have to be a pretty significant dip for it to go to $50.
Right.
I mean, it would almost have to be to the point where like he may not be on the team much longer.
Right.
But it could happen. I don't really see that happening. You want to say that the scouts are good enough in Major League Baseball to where they don't really strike out too much on international signings.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, maybe some of them aren't as good as, they were supposed to be. But you got to figure, and with him, with the international market, there's always going to be something there. There's a market for Darvish. Darvish still sells well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and when he came out, what was that, 2012? I mean, it was insane. And this is a guy that only pitches. So, I mean, you don't know what Ohtani's is. He going to be a hitter? Is he going to be a pitcher? What are they going to do with him? Is he going to do both? I mean, if he's the first guy that successfully does both, I mean, you're talking crazy numbers because you have the international market coming in similar to basketball. I mean, you see these basketball guys sell for stupid amounts. I mean, you see RPAs in basketball sell for dumb prices, like $10,000 on certain guys. Look at Simmons Diamonds. That's because of the international market. So baseball has that crossover with some of these guys, and Ohtani could be one of those guys. I mean, you look back at I always look back at when did the hobby go more towards autographs and serial numbers, and when was the big boom? And to me, I think Ichiro Pujols' year was one of the reasons that we're here right now. I think that was one of the biggest after '89, after the collapse and after the overmarket and the junk wax era. When Ichiro and Pujols came out, it was huge. It brought a lot of people back in.
2001?
2001. Obviously, we didn't have group breaks for another 9 years after that, but I think that was the beginning of hit chasers, gamblers, prospectors for baseball. And you could get another over-the-hump type of thing and bringing people in with Ohtani. So, I'm not going to say that blowouts prices are justified, but they're looking at all these stats too, and they're saying that this is going to be potentially huge, a huge release. I mean, where can these Bowman jumbo boxes go? At 274 right now, could it go to 400?
So,
isn't the Bowman the product you guys always tell me it goes up over time anyways?
Every year,
but not this quick. Not
this quick, but every year, Bowman is the safest bet. Next would probably be Bowman Draft. Now, Bowman Draft doesn't go up right away. It may take a couple years because it's a prospect-based product. But Bowman Draft, if you look throughout the years, most of the time there'll be one prospect that's only in that product. It'll usually end up shooting up. But Bowman is the safest bet every year. Look back on previous Bowmans. Within the last 5 years, I don't think any of them's really gone down. But getting to what Doug is saying, how far? Let's play devil's advocate. I already said that Ohtani. What if he came out and he sucks and he's having a terrible year? Well, do the opposite. Let's say he comes out of the gate, starting rotation, playing outfield 4 days a week, hitting home runs, batting over 300. We've never seen a player quite like it.
Yeah.
We've never seen a guy be a dominant pitcher and a dominant hitter.
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
Right.
In the lineup. We've never seen it. So you can have Bowman boxes going for $600. I don't see that. I mean, you could see Ohtani, the base autos, going for $3,000. It can get to Trout numbers really quick.
Yeah, quick. And to play off the fact that if he is in the lineup, he has the best player, what you guys call the best player in the league, in the lineup around him. Trout. You got Trout. So, I mean, if Ohtani starts doing well, he might be batting second or third right where Trout is. So he's kind of protected in a sense. So, yeah, the sky could be the limit on this product. The sky could be the limit on the autos. And I'm glad that Ziggy brought this up because this is a good point. Donruss Baseball, they released several on-card autos of Ohtani. That comes out March 7th. So that's going to come out before Bowman. So technically, his first auto on the market is going to be an unlicensed Panini product. What do those go for? Because that's before, that's right around spring training. We don't know what he may have a couple at bats and stuff like that around that time. But that could be the buffer. That could be the great equalizer on what those sell for. Because if those sell for $200 or $300, just non-numbered, then for sure the Bowmans are going to go for thousands. So that'll be interesting to see. So it looks like they've got him in Dominators. They've got him in Mountain Marvels, Out of This World insert sets. He has private signing autos, rated prospect signatures, signature series. So
he's been busy signing boys.
And I don't
know,
but I don't know how long he's going to be in Panini products. I don't know the logistics of it. I heard that he signed an exclusive with Topps. Now, I'm not 100%. That may have been a rumor, but
I think Topps worded it as they signed him to a long-term deal, but it didn't say exclusive, I don't think.
Because if it was exclusive, then maybe the Panini was able to get him to sign for, maybe a couple products out of the gate, they're going to get that one out first.
Yeah.
I mean, that is I completely agree. That is going to give us an idea of what the autos are going to go for, the Bowman autos. Is it safe to say 3 times the amount?
Double minimum, probably. Double minimum, I would say, 3 times.
Bruh, Donruss bosses are 68, and that Bowman baseball you guys are talking about is 135.
You talking?
And I think there's 2 autos in Donruss. I think Donruss will have 2 autos.
Talking
3 autos are mems.
You talking common sense over there?
They're both on cardboard.
What?
He touched them both.
But one doesn't.
If you really want to keep one, no.
but one doesn't have the
Angels logo on it.
Logo.
I know.
This is just some more previews of Bowman. There was some guys signing the Bowman. I wanted to talk about the fact that the Ohtani had the numbers on the front, which is new. I haven't seen that in ever. And but it looks like the prospect ones aren't on the front, as you can see on these ones here for Gavin LaValle's auto. Nice looking cards though, but it's weird that they have the numbers on the front. And I don't know the theory behind that on the rookie versions.
That's the first time they've ever done that?
Yeah, that I can remember. Besides inserts and stuff like that. So I don't know why the choice was there to do that. This guy's in going to be in Bowman too, and people were talking about him. His name's Chris DeVito. His Twitter handle was the Girth Quake 34. Probably doesn't mean to him what we think it all means right now, because we all have dirty minds. But I don't know. The Girth Quake. I think I picture one thing personally. Fingers. I got fat fingers. But he's going to be in Bowman. He was signing his stuff. So there's a Blowout Forum has a good list. Japers has a good rolling prospect list for Bowman. If you're looking into stuff other guys in the set other than Ohtani, because these guys all kind of tweeted out and people scour the interwebs and put together the list. So it's a good little thing if you're trying to find out if your team has prospects before the checklist comes out, because there's no checklist out. But there's about 12 or 13 guys that they've confirmed, and Hunter Green's going to be a big draw, and some other guys. So it's going to be a good set, but, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to seem like, I'm ragging on the fact that it's up because, like I said, it's collectible. But I don't know how you can justify that much of a bump in price already, and we're still two and a half months away from the actual release of it.
So I'm actually I got a question. See, I wasn't really looking at the prices of sealed wax Bowman specifically 3 weeks ago. I want to say, when was the tweet that Ohtani was signing cards? Maybe 3 weeks ago, right?
And they said he'd be out in the fall.
It'd be out in the fall, right? They didn't say specifically what it was, but people were trying to allude that it was going to be Bowman. What was Bowman going for at that point? I know it's went up about. I know hobby boxes have gone up about $40 to $50 in like one day.
Yeah.
When it was confirmed.
Yep.
So theoretically, if you just pre-ordered a crap ton about a week ago, you just came up.
Yeah. If you're gonna flip,
you just came up.
You're gonna flip. Absolutely. And that is a safe gamble. I mean, as soon as Blowout, even if you're not in the wholesale, if you're just an average consumer that likes to make investments now and again, as soon as they post the pre-sale for Bowman, you can usually get in, and then this goes for every year. You can usually get in and be able to flip those cases for if you wanted to do that. Like if you don't want to touch anything, you want to make yourself a couple $100. It's usually a pretty safe bet for that kind of a product to make money on some cases, even at retail. So, and this year's obviously going to be more so than most years. So it's just insane. I mean, what's your guys' take in the chat? I mean, what do you think about? The guys have been collecting Bowman for a while. What do you guys think about this price increase? Yeah, $89 a box when it started for hobby. So that's already up to what would I say?
$135.
$135.
Which I'm pretty sure it was $125 at 10 o'clock this morning.
And that's the one with one auto, right? Hobby?
Yep, one auto, one auto. But they did announce some exclusives for Hobby this year that may change things a little bit. I feel like there's more exclusives in Hobby this year than there's ever been. There's a new Bowman Sterling Continuity insert card guaranteed per Hobby box.
So they're not coming out with Bowman Sterling.
No. But that doesn't say auto, so they're going to have Sterling insert cards guaranteed. One new Chrome Prospect Atomic Variation Refractor guaranteed per box, Hobby only. New insert subsets, dual Bowman autograph prospect cards, obviously are chase. They're not going to be guaranteed in a box. are hobby only. So I feel like they're doing a little bit more for the hobby version this time around than they are doing for the jumbo. I didn't look at jumbo, but let's see what they have. Two new. Oh, they get 2 Bowman Sterling insert cards. So I guess that doesn't even matter. So 2 Bowman Sterling, two of those in the jumbo. See, the wording sucks here. So they're saying hobby SKUs only, meaning hobby jumbo and hobby retail, as opposed to retail. So that's misleading. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with those. And they do have Sterling autographs, as you've seen in the Chris Bryant photo, if you're watching on the screen there. And they look nice. I wanted them to bring back Sterling as a set. Maybe this is their teaser for them. Maybe they're going to put it out and then be like, okay, at the end of the year, we're going to make a Sterling product.
They can't do it. It's too much content.
It is.
They can't release a product that has that many on-card autos.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Bowman's best is the closest thing we're ever going to see to old Bowman Sterling.
Yeah. I think you're right. And yes, Mango, I don't disagree that buying singles is the way to go, but it's not as fun. That's the end of the day. It's not as fun. I mean, buying singles, I buy 10, 20 singles a day for our sets, and yeah, it's fun. But opening that box and pulling a superfractor, you can't, you know what you're getting. It's like it's like the hunt. It's like going fishing. It's like when you go to those places to fish, and it's like those pools, and it's like a 10-foot pool, and you're guaranteed to catch a fish. You don't really feel good about catching your fish there. But if you go to a lake and you got your own bait, and there's a huge lake, you could go all day without catching a fish, and then you catch one, and you're like super excited, but you probably didn't get that excited at the 10-foot pool that you're guaranteed to fish, and you got to pay when you catch it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
yeah, I've actually never. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of any place that just has like a pool filled with fish that you just go and.
Yeah, it's free. It's a hoot. I saw it in Tahoe, right? And I'm sure they're around other places. But it's like somebody had it at their house. They stock it with these huge fish, and you get in for free, but you pay for every fish you catch. So if you catch like 4 fish, you're like, oh, it's $100. So, but it's like playing that that game that spins.
Yeah,
it's like doing that. You're gonna catch one in a couple minutes here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real small.
What if you just are really bad at it?
Fish farm, yeah.
You're just there all day long. You're just I can't.
You're just avoiding them on purpose.
I can't get one. Do they give you a pool and every? A pool?
I think so.
Like bait.
Oh yeah, they probably know which bait those. They probably give you the best bait in the world there because they want you to catch.
They want you to get
possible.
out of there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Get out. You're.
Yeah, fish farm. That's what it's called. Yeah, they have them. They have a. I think the place in Morgan Hill is kind of like a fish farm, but it's huge. They don't charge for the fish, but it's like they stock the fish in there.
Oh, you mean Parkway?
Yeah, but it's more of a regular fisherman thing.
I'm pretty sure that because I don't know how to fish, and I would go there, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't catch one right away.
Yeah.
The place that you're talking about, the fish farm, it sounds like you could probably just reach in and just grab one.
yeah, I think you could. You just dive in and get like 4 of them. So, but yeah, that's the thing is the chase, the hunt is what draws people to buy boxes, to buy cases, to buy group breaks. So, but Bowman this year, we've been doing breaks for 8 years. If you guys haven't, if you're just tuning in for the first time, and we've never seen this high of a price increase on Bowman 2 months prior to the release. Last year went up significantly. I mean, Judge didn't emerge yet, but you had Gleibers first. You had, I think Bregman had a rookie. I forget who else was there. Blake Rutherford was in there. So there was some big names going into it, but it didn't. I think it would. This time last year with Jumbo was probably like 180. I think 190 wasn't 270. So, but it's going to be a good year for baseball if you know how to play the game right. We've got the positive of all of this money going up and the raising of these prices of products is there's going to be collectability here, and that's what this hobby needs anyway, is collectability. But like I said before, I would like to find a collectability and greed and somehow meet in the middle a little bit more than just let's overcharge until we find the ceiling. And screw everybody out of it.
But isn't there an old phrase, pitch 'em high, watch 'em buy?
There is, yeah.
And that's a motto that's used in a lot of businesses. So
there is that motto. But this hobby's always been a hobby, and even if you're doing business, it's still considered a hobby. And I think it's frowned upon when you try to make stupid money. And I think that's what we're getting right now.
Yeah, I mean, but I can play devil's advocate. There's a lot of products that distributors take on. There's a lot of products that online retailers take on. There's a lot of products that group breakers take on that you lose money.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that at the end of the day, you hope it kind of balances out.
It's a low margin business,
But-
very low margin business.
But last year with 2017 baseball, there's a lot of people that made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I know Mojo Break wasn't one of them. But there were some people who definitely prospered.
What do you mean, dude? I'm balling out my 2012 Camry, dude. I got spinners on it and everything, bro.
Plastic spinners.
I got a CD player in there and everything.
Hey man, I have a problem when cars don't come with CD players. That's a problem.
Then don't buy a new
and
car.
In my car, one of the probably the last ones that had a CD player.
Yep.
CDs sound a lot better.
They do.
Best Buy is phasing out CDs. You heard that?
I can't.
Best Buy?
Yeah, they're not gonna carry CDs
Like
anymore.
I think the next car I buy, I'm gonna go down and just be like, I need to get a CD deck put in because it's the only way I can listen to music.
I wish my car still had a tape deck.
I know, right?
Tapes don't sound good.
Analog.
But I got old recordings of my raps in there.
Nice. Bring them in, dude. We'll find a tape player. Put it on the show.
A lot of artists are actually tapes have become super hip again.
Vinyls have.
Vinyl's been hip for a while. Like
those mini vinyls, those mini ones.
The 45s.
Yeah,
Is it a 45?
they're like super expensive.
I think
if you
so.
get one.
So artists when they come out now, they've been releasing vinyls for probably like 10 to 15 years now. That's been like the hip thing, and yeah, tapes now. Everybody's going to tapes. Like
They're coming back.
Tapes are coming back. They started like the hipsters like started releasing them like 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. But now every band and every artist seems to be releasing a limited edition tape.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, here's a question for you guys real quick. Will records outlast CDs?
Physically, no. Like records warp, dude. You can
No, I'm saying like, will artists like 10 years from now be like, CDs now, but people still spin records, so
yeah,
I'll put out a record.
No, I think we're about 5 years away from that.
Yeah.
I think CDs are gonna be gone, and it's unfortunate because it's, in my opinion, it's the best sounding media.
Kids don't even know what a CD is.
They don't.
They're like, what the hell is a CD?
Dude, you guys remember being a kid? We're all around the same age. Did you ever like have a CD player and you tried to buy the anti-skip one?
They never work.
And you're like, I'm gonna go for a run. You're just like, and it's just like skipping. Like you're like, God damn it! You're like, get my tape player. It didn't skip. I mean, it would skip a little bit sometimes, but the CDs and
The Sony Discman was the best.
Yeah.
The portable Sony Discman was the best. But yeah, you're right. The anti-skip was BS.
yeah, lies.
But dude, it's a little tiny laser in there. Like
they can do anything they
I mean,
can.
come on.
Yeah, skip if you're
But
walking.
If you're ever bored, compare a MP3 file, just musically, sonically, listen to it.
Yeah.
And then listen to a CD and compare the difference. It's at least to me, it's night and day.
Yeah, I have an upgraded stereo system aftermarket in my car. Don't steal it. You know where I live. I always go for, if it's my favorite band, I gotta have the CD because it just sounds so much better in my car than my Bluetooth from my phone. So, before we move on and we get into breaks here in about 7 minutes, I do have a review segment, and I wanted to hand it on over to C-Rad. And we only had one new product that came out last week, was Status. Well, we had Vertex too, but Status Basketball. I wanted to see your thoughts after breaking a couple cases of Status Basketball.
I think it looks pretty nice, especially for the price point. I think I've said it over and over again. It's probably the best value you're going to get for 2017-18 basketball products. You buy a box for $57 and you're guaranteed an auto. Word.
Yeah,
for $57. Word.
And I think we've been pulling the top guys almost in every case.
Yeah,
at least one or two.
Possibility. There's at least 4 top rookies per case. I know it's 20 boxes in a case, so 4 in 20 chance of getting a top rookie. But for $57.
Yeah.
And the product doesn't look bad. Like when you compare it to something like maybe Ascension, you look at Ascension's design, you're like, it looks all right. It's kind of, it's all right design. It was like a side project from Grand Reserve, right? But you look at a product Status that kind of stands alone. It looks nice to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But so great value, and I don't anticipate it jumping up in price, of course. But if you're just like trying to get kids into collecting, and they're gonna get an auto or maybe even a relic with it, that's a good product to introduce them to.
Absolutely. I thought it exceeded my expectations. I expected to be shitting on it today, but we didn't. Because it was decent. It's not Prism, but it's got the big names and it's got the rookies that you want, and they come out more regularly.
And for kids, they stuffed it. There's a lot of base cards for that in that product. You would think like, oh, they're not going to print as many cards. The cheaper price point, they already got the auto in there per box. It's like, wow, you actually do get a lot of base cards in there too.
And the base cards actually look really nice.
Yeah,
I gotta say that design. When I saw the original solicitation, I'm like, here we go. I'm like, this is exactly what we don't need. We don't need another 17-18 basketball product. There's going to be a million of them.
Right.
This is ridiculous. Let's stop coming up with like new brands.
Yeah.
This one holds a little water. It actually it's at a good price point. It has a good design.
Yep.
You're getting the right content. It's okay. I mean, it's
serviceable.
It's serviceable.
You're not gonna feel like, oh man, I didn't get my money's worth, because you think about how much you're spending on it.
Right, like Chronicles.
Chronicles, I would have a different opinion.
I would rather break 2 boxes of Status than 1 box of Chronicles. I think.
Yeah.
If I was buying a box in a store,
and it's still cheaper than a box of Chronicles if you buy 2 Statuses.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to tell you guys about our 30 box. Spots have already sold. I just posted it last night. 30 box MLB this Friday. We're bringing back some Dynasty. We got Luminaries in there, Elite Extra Edition, Triple Threads, Flawless, Tier 1, 2010 Chrome, 30 boxes. And going down this Friday, it's called the Can't Wait for Baseball Boomski Random. So be sure to check that out on our site and get in. 28 total spots, 2 combos. And like I said, Dynasty, Flawless together. And a chance at pulling one of those 30 auto books in the Luminaries, which is ridiculous.
2010 Bowman Chrome?
Yeah.
Did we review Limited last week? You guys want to review Limited real quick? Football?
I think we touched on it, but I think let's talk. I love Limited. Limited's good. How were your cases throughout the weekend?
Awesome.
That's a good product.
I think we got our first Deshaun Watson RPA, true RPA.
Really? Yeah, I don't think I pulled one yet. Nice. Number to what? Not $2.99 or?
I think it was $149 or something.
Okay, they probably didn't make $2.99 on the Watsons because we haven't pulled that many yet. So, and then so that's a good product. But I Chinese Revolution. I wanted to see if Ziggy brought it up in the chat.
First of all, I don't even know what the heck that is. I just saw the preview on Panini blog.
What's the difference? Is there no autos?
We can't get it.
We can buy it from Blowout.
There's no autos.
I thought it was
no autos. The box hit is the Chinese red parallel.
Okay, yeah. So it's retailing at $259 an 8-box case. So
it's pretty sweet, but you can't get a Galactic
international
or a Lava.
International retail release, Chinese New Year card in every
international
pack.
Retail release, and Blowout has it. Word?
Hey, they have their international.
Word?
Actually, it comes out Friday, February 9th. But there's 1 Chinese New Year parallel per pack, and there's 8 packs, so you're going to get 8 Chinese New Year parallels.
Well, we didn't get a solicitation on that.
No, where's that at?
Pardon my ignorance. When's Chinese New Year? Is it Friday?
I look like an idiot because I'm Asian. I don't know.
I don't know either. I should know. I fireworks go off in my neighborhood every year.
I was at Disney recently. They had all kind of Chinese themes or Asian themes everywhere.
February 16th, so it's a week later. It'll be. I'll be in Vegas. That'll be a week later.
All my Asian folks, all my Chinese folks.
So
I only know Lao New Year.
So why didn't we get it?
Because it's going overseas apparently. So.
Oh, why did Blowout get it?
I don't know. Let's see if Tom wants to come on the show, or Danny or Chris. I'm not sure.
I got questions. I want answers.
I mean,
speaking of which, I pulled a Lava Lonzo Ball out of 10 yesterday.
Damn.
Somebody in the chat said they won sold for $2,000.
For Revolution?
Yeah.
Damn. Crazy.
I know.
Well, that's just them capitalizing on another 17-18 rookie class, right? I mean, that's like they're like, oh, Chinese New Year's the 16th, so let's come out with this product, and it doesn't cost anything. We're not using any autos, so run the presses again. I mean, I get why not? I guess, right? All right. Well, that does it for the show.
We didn't go over Vertex.
I know we got what we were supposed to be doing. Doing the
well, Vertex was dope.
Vertex is good. We got more today. It's not Grand Reserve, which is another good thing.
Vertex was good content, and I like it. It's again, probably don't need another football product. Didn't have really, maybe the bar, my hopes were so low on that.
Yeah.
That I was like, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath, but it over-delivered. Maybe because they didn't make too much of it. The pre-orders were probably pretty down on it. I don't think it's sold out yet. Limited has sold out from Panini. So I think Limited is sold out.
Yep.
Vertex, I think, still available. Good product. Yeah.
Yeah, nice Cornerstones. It was Cornerstones Prime or one of the
Capstones.
Nice Capstone. Sorry,
Capstones. Don't say Cornerstone's Grand Reserve.
Yeah, it might be trademarked. Plates and Patches this Friday though, so we'll have that to tell you guys about next week, as well as Select is coming out next week for football as well. Keep in mind, even though the Super Bowl's over, still got about 5 or 6 more football releases for 2017. They'll probably sprinkle 2018 in the middle of that too. We'll probably get a draft pick come out before that.
I think in late March maybe. I think the 2018 Panini draft picks football comes out.
Yes. So, all right, we're going to get prepped for the National Treasures Collegiate random number.
Which oversold, I think.
It did oversell. A lot of demand. $8.99. We also have a random number for National Treasures Collegiate Basketball on Thursday, tomorrow, which has been hot. And you can get Simmons Flawless Diamond Collegiate cards, which probably are worth a lot of money. So I'm going to go ahead and play the close, and we're going to head you in, and we'll be back doing breaks here shortly in about 5 minutes.
And your break spot. And we will see you next time on